I'll just take a second,
the industry session, please.
Sudhanva, just to convey apologies that me and Mr. Chodia would need to step out just for the board meeting of MCCI. As my colleague Sudhanva mentioned, we would follow this order of one after the other presentations, and this facility would be available for as long as required. Teas and coffees on house to make sure that you get to interact for as long as you need to interact. That's the whole objective of it. So the idea is not to scuttle the questions. The idea is to make sure that we'll have some order and there'll be a whole lot more time for you to interact with each other. Thank you so much.
Over to you, Dr. Ismail.
Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Narendra Shah, and thank you, MCCA, for inviting me today. I'm one of the, I think, few persons who don't take salary here. I'm an employer from beginning of my life. So I have to explain to you who I am first. 2 lines to you. I'm an engineer by profession, agricultural engineer and management, and I have studied in TNAU, Bangkok, in AIT as well as in Germany. I started business in Germany. Then when I heard Rajiv Gandhi calling in 1980s, mid-80s, we come back to India. So I came to India, started CIPSA unit for exporting precision spraying systems. I worked with Bosch, Firmafend. Like a lot of people of you talking about patents, yes I had, but I have a lot of to share with you with patents, throw them, shelf them out, let it be useful to people. Okay, let me start a little bit. So now, like I told you, I'm running a business now. I'm in industrial business now because I get matured more. So now I instead of paying 200 people, now I pay 12 people. So I'm also a consultant to NABARD Consulting Service, NAPCONS. So last 4 years now, almost I'm very active in the monitoring evaluation of POCR project. So I know about Maharashtra Complete Agriculture. So my friends like him and many of the people who are in universities, industries, everywhere, they asked me to be actively involved in agriculture. So actually last 2019, I trained a lot of people. I have at least 50 of the entrepreneurs in India, not like universities I visit, including IITs, where 800 students, only one want to do business. So I created 50 till now, and one is here. I will ask Mr. Sethu to do my presentation. Sethu, he came to me as a, you can do it, okay. He came to me as for training for 15 days internship in 2019. Now he's in a big position here in Pune. Okay, let me talk about a topic which is very hot, which is I think it will be interesting because I'm going to take the facts to you. So you can stop and ask me questions, short if it is. I will tell you about, please next slide, first slide. So I will talk about automation is actually to do things automatically. I just put the slides for you to read and maybe take photograph if you want, I'll give you. And the second one is what smart agriculture. 2015, the Department of Science and Technology issued this statement, this is called smart agriculture. But you will find a lot of smart agriculture is not there because it was an initiative. I appreciate the initiative started in 2015. It was not there in when I came in 1985. Okay, and when I started precision agriculture exporting from here, India was not ready. So it's a good lot of movement is going on now. So I will talk about it. Why we do, like we heard from morning, a lot of people talking about, I'm doing this for farmers, I'm doing this for business to come, I want industry to come. Let me tell you first what is my problem and what I want. That is the whole topic of this about agriculture. Let's understand what farmers' point of view. I'm like a farmer, so I'm with the farmers together daily, so you will understand whether you agree or not. Let us see at the end of it. Next slide, please. 50% of labor we have involved, people are dependent on agriculture, and we have 85% of the farm holding is less than 1 hectare, which means you talk about 5,000 rupees is the actual income of the farmer who is having 1 acre. Just a minute. I could not read from it. Okay, and let me try to read from there a little bit, easier for me. Now we produce a lot of cereals. And for example, we almost 20-30% of wheat we have more. We have sugar we produce more, and we also produce enough poultry, meat. This is all from statistics you can verify with the Google, not only Google everywhere. But we waste a lot of fruit and vegetable, almost 70%. We'll come back to the statistics afterwards. So we import but vegetable oil. Next to only crude oil. It is sad. Maharashtra used to grow groundnut, and we are afraid of dungar and janwar, and we don't grow any other than only soybean and cotton. We'll come back to the real facts. There is nothing else. Chana, soybean, cotton, kuch nahi. You ask the people, your great-grandfathers, what they grew. So, no more water we use than required, more chemicals we use than required, and agriculture affects in global, for example, if you look at around 20% of your all CH emissions come from agriculture. Okay. Next one, actually, this is from Tata Center, one of the Narendra Shah 2017, I think he called. One of the Department of Agriculture fellow told me, who was sharing me together with me, we have two monsters the farmers have. One is the market, second one is the monsoon. So these two are not yet solved yet. Next slide, please. I'll go quick some of the problem areas. No sufficient coordination between universities, academia. 2 out of 800 want to do business. And I asked in forums, by the way, we had during COVID times, around 2.5 years, around 85 webinars I conducted with Indian Society of Agricultural Engineers. Narendra Shah is one of the main active person and aided by his team of people. You can see it in the YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/automation in agriculture. Okay, you will find very extensive, around 125 professionals throughout the world, not only professors, even BAIF has given one session for it. So I think you'll learn more. Now we come back to the point, post-harvest loss is very high. Mechanization means only tractors. 50% we use still for transport. We don't use for anything else. And policy subsidy has failed miserably. We have near Hyderabad 500 poly houses where the temperature of 50 degrees Celsius. We have in Kerala poly houses where we have high humid regions because somebody sitting in Himachal decided poly house we have to give, useful for farmers. So this is the problem, and now also it is happening. A lot of, because the policy makers don't know. I would blame only, I am educated, I am an agriculture engineer, so I am responsible for it. So I think every professor, every research scholar is responsible for it. So this is the biggest problem we are facing right now, the current scenario. I'm not saying negativity. We know the scenario, then we can act how. I'll give suggestions also. Options of rural employment. This is a very big factor. You don't have any job anywhere. You go down, don't sit in this room, get out. Last week I was in Amravati to Akola, drive through, you cannot find one tree. I mean, you will see somewhere about 1 kilometer, one tree or something like that. There are no trees at all. But from Nagpur to Amravati, yes, you will find trees. Because there are a lot of small things which we don't know sitting here and talking. The agriculture education skill development is zero. Because I asked some of the people who participated, told about biogas. Big guys worked for 60 years, he worked. I told him, can you invest 25% of your savings in a biogas plant? I'm investing rest of the 75%. They are not willing. So all we teach, all we talk, we are not willing to put 2 cents on that. So I think we have to change it. Next one, please. Now what are the new challenges has come? Climate resilience. It's a big problem, but farmers are aware of it. The professors, scientists, not aware of it. I can boldly say that farmers are aware of it, and we have to help them how to do it. Second one is the demand for food is changing. We all want organic food. For example, I tell you a lot of things, farmers in Baroda, when you travel, they don't want to do what you call Roundup. That is, they don't want any weedicides. They don't want for banana weedicides. They don't want to use, farmers don't want to use. So you want nutritious food, how will you get it? So option is conservation agriculture, which we have only 200 million hectares in the world, where we have 5 billion hectares in the world total. Conservation agriculture, 3 principles, all of you can understand, very easy. Number 1, no need to turn the soil up and down. That is idiotic. It was long, we made a mistake of we have to turn around, plow every time, not required. No till planting, that's the best. That's what natural farming also does it to an extent, and organic farming also does it. Number 2, don't leave the land barren. You must have some green cover, because lot of water evaporation is less. You see so much things are completely gone down when you keep it. And number 3, change the cropping pattern. Don't grow chana, cotton, soybean alone. Because people are afraid to grow something because they are afraid of animals coming inside, they are afraid of this problem, that problem. Cotton, 30% lost because pink bollworm, still there is no solution. We'll come back to the next slide, please. What do the small farmers ask now? We are talking small farmers, don't tell me big farmers. 85% of the land is small land. You cannot change, no politicians can change. Machineries for small farmers we want. We don't want big tractors. Okay, give me small farmers, soybean. There is no cotton picking equipment still now. Ask all the universities, all the IITs. So much work we are talking. Cotton picking is manual. Let the IIT professors go and pick one day cotton. I'm telling true because 50% of IIT here, I have seen IIT Kharagpur, I was there last month. Kharagpur has one of the best, I think probably 50% of agriculture engineering they supply. I spent about 4 days with them. So the real problems are this. And they want to reduce the input cost. Fertilizer kam karo bolta hai. Mera spraying ka cost kam karo bolta hai. Drone do, but then you tell me drone cost, what is the cost? How much chemical you are going to use? You cannot use 5 times the chemicals than normal spraying and then tell the drone is required because you are going to promote it. So come to economics because farmer earns very less, 2,500 rupees per month per acre. In Punjab if you go, you find 6,500 to 8,000, okay? That is also not much. 40 acres you require till to be a professor. Okay, that's a huge amount of zamindar. We are zamindar. I am also, for example, I am an employer, but still I am a zamindar compared to them. Now, second one is what people want is processing facilities at zero. Small agro processing. Whenever I go there, they ask me, they don't actually make oranges, okay? What do you call the mandarins, okay? Juice bananega. The farmers don't know. And we'll come back to the problem. A lot of other problems. Roads are not there in Maharashtra. Excepting one Punjab and Haryana, Indo-Gangetic plains, there are no motorable roads in farms because there it was made by mandis. Okay, now at least good. I see government is doing positive because they're linking main cities. Okay, the things are happening good. Because I don't talk politics, I don't talk anything because they don't know anything. I think the educated are to be blamed, not the politicians. They are doing their business. I think we do correctly and tell them boldly. We want to change our country. We are the rulers actually because we got the luck to become educated. We all come from middle class. Most of them, I think here must be middle class coming there and you all educated, you are happy to join ICR. I meet so many youngsters. They are aimless sitting there. So we have to find, this forum has to do something. Now people are starting net house, controlled environment agriculture. I'll tell you some more things, this they want. Next is the food is not available. Somebody told me all grazing land, everything. In 2050 there will be no food. Okay, 70% we have to make it more. There will be no land for grazing land. There will be nothing. You read from FAO everywhere. 2050 is not far away. Our children will be there that time. So throughout the world, people are going for alternative protein. India also moving a little bit. Insect farming. India nobody hurts because insect I won't eat, but many states eat. And throughout Africa is eating, and US is eating, and slowly will come in the indirect form. So I'm thinking about we have to be open eyes and see the foresee. Next slide, please. There are IoT, I won't go into detail. I will come back to the next slide, very interesting. There are so many applications. This you can find in the presentations, what I give. Enough presentations we have on these IoT applications. I will come back to a core point which will help directly the farmers today. Rather than, because I was also a professor 5 years. I'm still a professor teaching a lot of universities and all going, but I teach different way. Because I ask first, if 10 people I teach, at least 2 must become business. Otherwise you don't come to me. Because it's easy for me to make professors more professors because we have experts in everything. You see, if कोई accident happen रास्ता में सब लोग बोलेगा ना और TV match देखने का I am तेंदुलकर ऐसा खेलने का, correct? So we have Indians are very good in that, but action we want. So IoT will not go. So many areas are there. We come back to the next slide. Okay, this is important. The hype. This is called hype curve. When the technology comes, everybody thinks, drone will work. You see here, you see this curve is not by me, it's from a Monsanto. This is available in the world. So everybody starts, when the trigger of the, sorry for my talking like this, not like a professor or something, but I think I want to make a different talk. Innovation trigger starts something, so many. You can read from what to think of blockchain, okay? I'll come back to blockchain and explain you. You all will understand what blockchain in 2 lines. That I promise you that. So blockchain, and they talk about on-farm sensors, I want everything. These are all hype curve going up. Ultimately, when they peak, they go, itna paisa dal diya, kuch bhi nahi ho raha hai abhi. So you come down. This every technology, not only this is for precision agriculture. And go down, this 2 years old actually. Now today also you can add your own, depending on how much people have adopted. This curve is done how people have adopted. So we have long way, we have another 10 years to see the real effect of precision agriculture to come. But so I also now, foresight we see it, which in FAO, World Bank and different places, people discuss, people of different caliber, people discuss of what is going to happen, visionaries. I will share some of them with you. Next slide, please. Now, technology, I will tell you, what is blockchain? Blockchain is database, nothing else. It is distributed. I am talking to simple people who want technically. I am also working in IT very well. I started IoT in Bisa form. I did before 3 years. Automation is my blood. So like building automation we do. All the ATM we give energy saving. I give energy saving for up to 50% energy saving. So I can help you in that to learn technology. Blockchain is distributed database. Suppose I make a transaction, no need to keep one place, keep it 10 places. Okay. So where this is useful for us, gene mapping, gene tracking, transactions when you make, these are useful. Otherwise it doesn't bring any money to anybody. So big corporates will be useful. Gene mapping and tracing, tracking the farm produce, like some people talked about. Like 2 years back somebody came to me, trace the mango. From track and trace mango to go to US or somewhere else. So this is done now already. Now IoT, connecting nodes of sensors and actuators. Sensor means a simple water level is there or not. An actuator means a pump. Okay, just imagine this is and they say in different humidity measurement, temperature measurement. This is called IoT. The information is collected. So whether it is collected through internet or local network, wired, doesn't matter. Okay. Next one is big data. Big data, why? Because data are very big, how to store it. That means just take a picture of the plant, from there you can understand the color. Most of the people, NVIDIA, now whatever you call this, color, there's nothing else near. They use a lot of terminology, infrared and everything. Ultimately color. Seen if green, that means okay, nitrogen is more, something like that. Some type of comparison, statistics and whatever data done. So big data store this data, pest data. All photograph. This to store, this is big data, is one of the techniques of storing the data, retrieval of data. That's all. Artificial intelligence means what? Suppose I enter this first here. Okay, I never been to Maharashtra. I never been to take Maharashtra lunch. But then I have taken already India somewhere. South India I have taken somewhere. With these experiences, I try to make a judgment how to do for this particular situation. That is called artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, something doesn't come artificial. It is existing for 40 years. We used to call as expert systems. So let us not get in detail. It is also good. Like your spelling correction is artificial intelligence. We will come back to that. Next is machine learning means what? Change the rules. Suppose I want to irrigate. Let us say when the temperature is this much, humidity is this much. I can change the rules, slightly modify it based on the experiences what I got. So that is called machine learning. So the parameters are changed. That's all. So I need not have worry about who is the manufacturer, whether it's he works on a lot of high-tech stuff backside sitting there. I will tell you, he will tell all the big stuff costing several lakhs of rupees. Anyway, there is ICT is very important. We are already seeing it very well. We are seeing ICT means the mobile app, information, weather forecast, when to go sow the seed, don't sow it now. Now Maharashtra started already, weather forecast started. And a lot of apps has come, lot of companies like ITC has started, everybody has started. This started 5 years back. So this is useful. Next slide please. Now this is an important slide. You see, we have 17% of world population, only 4% of fresh water. 80% of water in India used for agriculture, only 4% for drinking. So no need for TV ads saying that tap, bacha log band karo, farmer log band karo, tumhara tap. Sorry, just, yes, I will finish it. These only 3 slides I have. I'm correct in the line. Given 4 minutes. So, now question is, we have a lot of precipitation going away. We have to save water. There are 2-3 types of water saving already done. For example, now the BBF used in Maharashtra, that's a broad bed furrow system. They use for the climate resilience, very successful. So they save a lot of water, and soybean increased by 20% yield with 1,000 rupees seed savement. That's about 15% saving. Rice ka paddy ka, this is what I call alternate wet and drying technique. It's existing for more than a decade, nobody is implementing. And subsurface irrigation existing, not implementing. You can save a lot of water, about 30% above. Next slide please. Controlled environment agriculture is one of the fast growing field, even in Maharashtra. In other part, I think we have to really concentrate on this, and probably support is not there. We made, for example, one of the universities student came and did the small curtain riser. It is very hot, open the curtain. But then student goes away, the project goes away. All the research institute, this is the problem. Next slide please. Food processing is empty almost. Like I told, local, I am talking about big companies, all done automatically, excellent. You go to Farzan to buy, it's excellent companies inside, enter inside. But it's not existing for small ones. So we have to see packaging machines are expensive. I can tell you a story, we have only 4 walls for storage. We need a cooling places of 15 days for fruits and vegetables. 15 days storing local facilities. Next slide. This is the last slide. I'll explain you. This is some of the problems farmers are facing. The right side I have shown from South India. The paddy is getting just after harvest getting there because rain is coming. Affordable, this I will read each line. Affordable no tillage seeders we need. Weeding equipment for cotton, soybean, banana and other crops. Residue management is not there. Even though Maharashtra also farmers started using in situ management. Residue, they put it inside. It is good for the soil. No need to burn them. Cotton may is an issue. We discussed in the lunchtime also. Multi-purpose prime movers we require. And precision spraying equipment to reduce the input costs we require. Okay, we need to reduce the input cost, reduce the fertilizers, reduce the cost of spraying, everything that farmers want, or no spraying if possible. Then you have harvesters for cotton. Zero, it's not existing. And direct seeding, we also need a soybean harvester. Soybean grows now, if somebody has seen it's mostly manually harvesting, this is also the problem. And then protection from wildlife. There are a lot of solutions I can discuss with you. I discussed last week also in Amravati, but then nobody listens. Because we have to live with the monkey. We cannot afraid of monkey and not to grow trees. I don't think there's we find a solution like that. So there are solutions from China, how it's adopted other countries, we have to go in. Oil palm cultivation, everything manual now. It's also very dangerous to put in Hyderabad area, okay fine, but not in Northeast. So farmers say that. This is a question because it will remove all the water from them. Next is the energy requirement. Maharashtra recent thing, if you see, notice now, the farmers are very advanced than the scientists here. I think IIT Bombay also doing this. I come to know through some other source that used 3-phase converters farmers are doing directly, pump from single phase to 3-phase. There are not proper suppliers are there. But then the power factor correction that saves up to 15-20%. So IIT Bombay has taken according to World Bank. So World Bank people told me IIT Bombay one project was given. Now I don't know status. Now I'm not negative because my very old friend is 38 years. I know him. He's from IIT Bombay. But I know. Old or older? No, I am older than you. I am older than you. I am senior to him. So and that's all, my friends. And nice to see you. I think all of you, instead of telling, I am looking for industry participation. You start your industry. Why? How long you are going to be an employee only? I want to see 10% of scientists come out and say, I want to start the business. Why? You won't be starving. You won't be starving. Have that. I started without any fear. My family, I started, and I'm very happy. Happiness doesn't come because you have 10 flats. Sorry, I'm not talking this, but I think you try to explore that because scientists are supposed to be philosophers also. That's when you get a PhD. Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. God bless.
Thank you. 3 more presentations. 3 more now. Now we move to Mr. Makarand Pathak, the General Manager for ARAI, Automation Research Institute of India, Association of India, that is very much in Pune. And we engage with them on a variety of platforms. So when we constructed this program, we said having the program in Pune, MCCI must have ARAI because it's also the automotive hub. Makarand, over to you.
Thanks MCCI and RGTC for giving us this opportunity to present ourselves, and we will try to cover our presentation in next 15 minutes. First, I will cover brief overview of my organization, and second part I will cover that how we can support the industry. That is the motive of this today's topic. So we have started in basically we are the prestigious organization located in Pune. We have 3 locations. One is at Kothur, that is our registered office and primary plant, and we have the 2 other plants at Chakan. Basically, we are working in 16 different areas, which structural evaluation, engine and powertrain, electric vehicle testing, safety and homologation, noise, material level validation, material level advanced studies, transmission, engineering design and simulation, and alternative fuels also. So this is our journey. We have started in 1966 as a facility establishment. Then our next decade, our focus was testing and competency development. Then 1991 to 20, our focus was technology development. And you can see last 10 years, our focus was testing plus R&D solutions. So whatever the knowledge we have gathered in earlier 30 years, we have started leveraging by giving the solution to the automotive industry. Though predominantly my presentation is covering the automotive, but we are also providing our services to allied industry, whether it's a defense, electronics, and tractor industry, that is agriculture industry also. So these are our main services what we are offering to the industry. We are in certification, we are in R&D. R&D is the projects which are supported by industry, then by government, and the national important project. We are also into the consulting services where we are helping our customers for upgrading their product. We are in the knowledge sharing initiatives, and we also assist the government in formulation of regulatory standards. So testing and certification is our main domain, and you know our this part very well. So I will not go into the detail, but from two-wheeler to heavy commercial vehicle, whether it's an electric vehicle, retrofitment, we can support the industry for the upgradation of their product. Anyone is interested, we can support them. Again, export homologation also, many Pune-based industries, they are basically sending their product across to the Europe, in America, USA. We can support them, especially for their export homologation requirement. Now coming back to the today's topic, that is development and how industry and ARI can work together. So basically from concept to optimization stage, there are different stages: benchmarking, design simulation, component validation, aggregate vehicle level sign-up. We can support at each level. So wherever the industry, whether it's a component manufacturer, subsystem manufacturer, or complete vehicle platform manufacturer, or maybe the electronic manufacturer, we can come and we can help, we can support at each stage of their product development. So this is the bottom line of this slide, and I will cover quickly through my other slides that we can help you for the static or dynamic level benchmarking, whether it's a vehicle performance, NVH, that is noise, vibration and harshness, complete body level or BIW level study, or maybe 3D CAD data for benchmarking of the vehicle. Similarly, on the simulation, we are having the state-of-the-art softwares, the knowledge, the skill, where we can support for the powertrain, EMI/EMC, crash development, then NVH, or it may be the MBD. At the engine level, we have the complete full-fledged facilities where we have the certification as well as developmental testers, where we can work with the industry for their upgradation program from maybe Euro 4 to Euro 6 or BS4 to BS6, or maybe for meeting the next level standard, the dual fuel. We have the complete transient as well as durability test cell where we can help for the data monitoring, design, simulation, calibration. We also have the virtual test bed where we can simulate all these conditions in virtually, and we can save the time and we can do the study in accelerated mode. This is very important slide. Means we are a 55-year-old organization, we are having various databases. So this is one of the important databases which we have around 6,000 plus kilometer database which can represent the Indian different road conditions, and this data you can subject on your vehicle or subsystem, and you can do the accelerated durability of your complete system or the vehicle, where you can understand your product within 1.5 months instead of going on the road for maybe driving the vehicle for 12 months or maybe 16 months. So this is one of the important area where we can support the industry. On the component level, through us, you are having the access to various proving ground, whether it's a Nagar, where it's a Natrax, or international level also. We can do the in-lab testing. We are having the state-of-the-art 4-poster with environmental simulation. So those facilities, state-of-the-art facilities are available, and not only the testing, but the knowledge behind that. We also have different case studies. So our experts can add and we can support you on the vehicle level, or if it is a component level, DVP, that is design validation program. We have the 6 degree of freedom, then two-wheeler roadworthiness testing. So we can support you at each stage of your product development. Sorry. So now it's for the material characterization. Again, means we have developed our own electric, basically the lightweight superstructure, which is around 700 kg less than the contemporary steel platform, and this can give you the around 7% more fuel efficiency. So we are working on various advanced research development programs. This is just one example I had given, and where we also can collaborate. You also have developed any new material, definitely you can contact us. We can find out the possible opportunity there where we can work together. And apart from that, validation, you know that whether it's high strain rate testing, metallurgical analysis, failure analysis, we can support you on your product optimization or maybe on the standard testing. As far as noise and vibration is concerned, now because of electrification and all, noise has become very important element. So here also we can help you on the assessment of the noise coming out of different vehicle or maybe other platforms, and then we can help you also by supporting you on the various materials where we can curb that noise as per the customer specific requirement. As far as green, that is electric mobility is concerned, we are working on the chassis, component, powertrain, safety and performance evaluation. Just example, like we can help you for your motor power development, motor level testing, reliability, EMI, EMC, and also for the complete vehicle level platform or the charger level validation development, we can support you. So to summarize, to support for your EV powertrain, we can help you from concept to complete EV powertrain development. It's a motor sizing, net power, thermal management, cold startup, or maybe dynamic behavior of your identified ecosystem. Then, as far as battery level concerned, we are starting our new test lab in Chakan. You may like to utilize that, where we can help you for your next level regulatory as well as developmental standards. We are also working in hybrid, that is HIL. If your product is at hardware stage, this is very important, where we can help you, where we can develop a complete vehicle model in virtual platform, and in absence of all this system, only you have the BMS developed. So we can create all in vehicle platform, and we can complete all these activities, and we can support you for your hardware in loop activities. This is another area where many manufacturers are working in ADAS support. So we have the different Indian traffic scenarios. Today we have 55,000 plus cases developed, and within next 6 months of time we are building our own proving grounds. Also within 1 year we are planning to have our own proving ground, where you can utilize, if you are working in this area, you can utilize our facilities, and we can support you. This is important slide that we are working on various Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives. We have developed our own charger technology, where if anybody is manufacturing charger, they can utilize this. This is a complete know-how document. By taking this reference, you can build your own charger. Similarly, the battery management system, we have developed our own, and we have handed over to the aspirant manufacturer, because we are the research organization. The manufacturing is not our mandate. So we develop the product up to certain technology readiness level, and once it's come to the mature stage, we will identify the industry partners. So similarly, the blue areas where presently we are working at maybe 2 or 3 level, and maybe we will find suitable industry partner. You will, anyone is interested, we are definitely look forward to take this initiative forward. So Indian specific database, this is another important database what we have, the Indian specific anthropometry, which is very useful database. If you are designing vehicle, designing the garment, designing the furniture for Indian condition, this database is very useful. So we are having this ready-made database. Apart from that, various materials available in India along with their different properties. This material database is also available. And the road profile, which I have indicated in my earlier slide, these are the 3 different databases which are very useful. And our expert engineers with their core competence, we have developed this. This information is readily available, so you don't want to invest in these initiatives. Again, the skill development is another important area, and we are constantly working here. So we have our own learning center, training center and knowledge center. Every year about 200 plus students are undertaking different graduate and postgraduate programs. Similarly, we are having our own proficiency improvement programs. We are organizing around 3 to 4 programs per month and around 45 to 50 programs per year. So means if you want to build your proficiency or improve your proficiency, you can participate at our, you can contact me or maybe our website under Academy. We have the complete calendar for a year. And we are investing, considering the industry's need, we are investing in various advanced facilities, whether it's advanced test track at Talegaon, that is the 4th facility we are planning, and hydrogen test cell and different forward-looking technologies and the testing validation setup we are investing. If you are interested, definitely you can utilize. Apart from that, as I have indicated, automotive, we are also working in the defense sector for the data acquisition, material characterization, 3D scanning, simulation. So our same equipment knowledge we can share for these activities. We also help for the government initiatives. You also can participate, like FAME 2 in assessment. We are the one of the premier institute where we can support the government in the battery capacity measurement, localization verification, and also in the PLI scheme we are also playing the similar role like review. of the component manufacture applications for advanced automotive technologies. In alternate fuel also, we are working along with the government on various fuel, whether it's a flex fuel, gaseous fuel, M15, biofuel. So various research studies, pilot demonstration project. We also have the state-of-the-art facilities and knowledge where we can work together. We are having vast area, so I cannot cover everything, but I'm going in brief. In case anybody is interested through Mr. Kopardekar, you can contact me anytime. This is an important element for today's topic. That is, we also have the technology, that is Technovus platform with the Ministry of Heavy Industries, where we are bringing the startups, the entrepreneur, the industry, and the academia together. So I request all of you also to become the partner, or you can participate in this process, where it's a co-create solution platform. Industry is posing their challenges, problems over here, and startups are providing the solutions. So you also can become the partner in this process. And similarly, under the Technovus program, we are giving the startup some funding, hand-holding. We have identified 7 startups in our initial screening process, and the second round is now open. So I request you can visit our Technovus platform, and who are the industry partners who are working in maybe electric innovation, anything, they can approach here, they can apply, and maybe if you can get selected in the screening process, you also can get those kind of benefits. So to summarize, means we are the certification, R&D, we assist in the government, consulting services also means to upgradation of the various platforms, and we also have the education and training. So what we want to become in future, that we want to become a world-class mobility center, along with taking the industry together, and by empowering the future mobility, supporting manufacturability, and creating exponential growth. So thanks. So again, means we are the premier one, most tested, trusted organization in India, and we would like to take all of you on the board, your support and your blessing. Once again, thanks for you.
We have the team from BIF as well, Dr. Aware and Dr. Kothari, right? Please.
Okay. So meanwhile, thank you MCCI and RGSTC for giving us an opportunity to present over here. So basically, I am from BIF Development Research Foundation. So myself and Dr. Kauthale will be presenting on the different R&D facilities available at BIF Development Research Foundation, and different technologies which we have established through different projects. So basically, BIF is an NGO, and we are 55 years old, and we are working for the sustainable rural development. And for this sustainable rural development, you know that a research component is also equally important. And through that report, we have, propagated different technologies, and we are very much thankful to different sponsoring agencies like RGSTC, ICAR, then ICADA, then ILRI, etc., etc. So based on that, we are working in 13 states. So these are the different verticals which we are focusing, particularly livestock sector, agriculture, then energy and water resources. So based on that, here I am presenting 2 parts, that is livestock and renewable energy as well as water. So under livestock, you know that why livestock is important, and how the technology implementation with the help of industries is also equally important. And basically, I would like to focus on the basic objectives, that feeding, because feeding cost is more than 75 to 80% for the animals in a dairy sector, which is the major cost. So how we can reduce it by using different feeding technologies or feed technologies. So basically, you know that such kind of drought situation you can see everywhere and every year, almost throughout the country. So as to overcome those problems, these are the different technologies which we can implement or which we can propagate into the field conditions. So number 1 is the complete feed technology. So then baling, then ozone treatment, then steam treatment, urea treatment, UMMA, then use of different ration balancing program, and as well as supplemented some of the products. So based on that, you can see that we have established at BIF, we have established different technologies. So these are some of the pictures which are indicating that we have not only established that technology, but we have propagated into the field conditions, but till there is a support required from the industry. So likewise, we will see one by one. So feed processing is very, very important, and into the field conditions, how poor quality crop residues which are available for the animal feeding can be used for the animal feeding by using different technologies and enhancing their nutritional content. So these are the different technologies, and by using that, till we are facing a problem, how to make it user friendly. So because complete feed block or pellet technology is a good one, but how we can make it user friendly. So basically we are approaching different FPOs and even SHGs as well, through which we are trying to propagate and establish that technology. So another important thing, that baling, because in most of the countries, most of the part of the country, you can see such type of fodder is available, but because of lack of technology or huge investment in that technology, no one is coming forward. But nowadays, except Punjab and Haryana, in rest of the country as well, some of the people are approaching us that how we can go into that, how we can proceed, for which funding support is also equally important. Then apart from that, rightly, I mean, in the morning session, already Madhu sir have been, described about the ozone technique and ozone treatment program. So definitely we are also trying our best to propagate that technology through different FPOs, because it is very, very useful. And such kind of facilities available at Urli Kanchan as well. And we are trying that how we can propagate that technology in the different part of the state of Maharashtra. So again, urea treatment, this is also one of the important technology. Then steam treatment to the bagasse, because today morning we have discussed about the jaggery making and different techniques or technologies in jaggery making. But you know that bagasse, whatever is available, that is also one of the feed resources for the animal feeding, except few hurdles like lignin and cellulose, hemicellulose. So as to nullify that effect, steam treatment is also equally important. In the year of 1976, we have already tried this at H1 sugar factory, but unfortunately that technology have not been improved and propagated into the field condition. So how we can think over it, that is also a question, and how we can promote it through different industry. So likewise, urea molasses, mineral leak brick. See, actually some of the industries, they are having their own products, but it is not popular one. So based on that, this is the ration balancing program. So already different IoTs and different tools have been used in the dairy sector, but still there is a need to improve it. And one more thing, that is so as to get proper puberty of the animals, that growth rate is important, and how we can improve it by using milk replacer and calf starter. So these are some of the technologies which we should promote. Then there are certain microbial cultures or inoculants which are available in the market, but till it is essential to take the help of organization like BIAF, where we are engaged in not only research but developmental activities also. So we also need some of the supports from the industry for such kind of support. Again, mineral mixture supplementation, probiotics, prebiotics. So these are the different areas for the dairy sector which we can use for the propagation through industry. Then Azola supplementary products. So again, would like to thanks RGSTC, because under that project only I have formulated 3 different products which are totally based on the herbal and Azola supplements for the animal, and we have conducted successful trials on the small ruminants as well. So based on that, recently we have got license from ICAR, because early morning also we were discussing about the Agro Innovate. So under Agro Innovate, we have got license for producing Haridara, which is anti-methanogenic feed supplement, because you know that nowadays, because of methane emission, global warming is a major and burning issue. So as to reduce methane emissions, so claim is that Haridara product will reduce ultimately 18 to 20% methane emission from each of the animal. So based on that, we got a license for the same, and we are going to produce it at Urli Kanchan, and we'll be supplying it throughout country through our own network as well as private commercialization. So likewise, one more technology, no doubt it's not so easy technology, because in vitro fertilization technology. So under that, we have did lot many things. We have made R&D, and these are the very encouraging results that we are getting good conception rate into the field conditions through embryo transfer technology. Again, sir, we are implementing sex-sorted cement technology. No doubt it is patented one, and we are just part of that. But still, that technology needs to be developed and propagated through different agencies. Now, related to energy and water, so basically there are few models which we have established, because nowadays dung manure management is also equally important issue. So integrated renewable energy based model we have established, in which we have established 5G filter technology. So it's a 5th generation filter which we have established, and we have applied for the patent as well. And no doubt we need support for its commercialization and kind of thing. So it's a very user-friendly biogas model, and we have established more than 2,500 such models throughout different parts of the Maharashtra and other states as well. At the same time, we entered into the field of bioprom production, because biologically treated phosphate-rich organic manure, which is equally important as a replacement for DAP and SSP. So again, we have implemented the same through different FPOs and farmers organizations. These are the different innovations which we have tried into the field conditions, that is solar based panels, then solar drying for the different food items, and at the same time we have entered into the, these are the some of the pictures, you can imagine that which kind of food items we have solar dried, and based on that these are the some of the innovative things which we have used in the field. But again, propagation is a question. There are different water boxes, tank and drip irrigation, then Thalia model for the water irrigation. So such kind of support is required, and these are the different numbers which we have established and implemented into the field conditions. So considering time limit, now I would like to request my colleague Dr. Kautale sir to present a few slides of the agriculture technologies.
Yeah, I will take 5 to 7 minutes. So this is our R&D programs in agriculture. We are working in forest crops, then unconventional fodder resources, plant biotechnology, agrobiodiversity conservation. Under ICR program, we have developed these varieties which are very good for fodder and even biomass also. So in Bajra, 3 varieties have been developed and released at national level, and 3 varieties in Bajra Napier hybrid, which is having very high biomass, 250 metric ton per hectare per year. Then regarding crop production technology, we have developed a n number of technology. Basically, the silage is coming up as a good entrepreneur model. Then some of the technology like legume block preparation is also good technology. Then in sustainable agriculture also different technologies are there. We are currently working on biochar, which is a very good source for increasing organic carbon in the soil. Then this is another important area. We are working on spineless cactus. We are promoting it as fodder crop for arid regions of the country. Besides fodder, it has other applications, like we are engaged with one CSIR institute for making the bio leather from cactus. So we are encouraging the results we have received, and we are developing some this extension program in the field. Azolla, as Manoj already told, supported by RGSTC, we could able to develop some entrepreneur at village level. This is one of the flagship program of BIAP. This is community-led agro-biodiversity conservation, again supported by RGSTC. And we are working in 3 areas like crop diversity, livestock diversity, and non-timber forest produce. And basically here our approach is in situ and ex situ conservation along with the community. So why indigenous seed? Because they are resilient to climate, having nutritional security, livelihood, as well as food security is there. And this is the 4C approach by adopting these indigenous varieties, like we are having conservation program, then cultivation, consumption by the community, and commercialization. So we have developed a brand that is Farming Monk, which is developed for community level different products they have prepared. This is the diversity among the crops. So we are working on almost 12-13 crops, and over 600 accessions have been collected. You can see the diversity among this indigenous seed, like in maize, paddy, different pulses, and sorghum. So coming to the millets, now next year will be the International Year of Millet. You can see how millets are important as far as minerals are concerned. As compared to wheat and rice, they are having rich in minerals. And we have huge collection of these different types of millets under conservation. Then this is, in rice also we have good indigenous varieties. They are rich in minerals like iron and calcium. And there are a lot of community knowledge on this use for medicinal properties. That also we are validating at scientific level. These are some of the genome saviors at community level. One of the community genome savior got Padma Shri award, that is Raibai Popere. Then one farmer breeder who has developed one rice variety, Ashwini, he has recognized by Government of India. And we are involving community as far as participatory research is concerned in varietal selection, established community seed banks at village level, and we worked with IIT Bombay for the seed storage systems at community level. Then we have Gene Bank at Urali Kanchan. This is the different brandings, we have branding for Mahua Laddu, we work on NTFPs, then millet laddus, Then this is the kitchen garden kits of having indigenous varieties of vegetables. And in livestock also we have focused on some of the indigenous cattle breeds and goat breeds for conservation aspects. These are some of the achievements. In non-timber forest produce we could able to identify some candidate trees of maua and documented around 25 recipes out of maua flowers. This is the new initiative we have started, BIAP Kisan Mart, to make available different products and services of the BIAP at community level. And one milk ATM also initiated at Uradi Kanchan for the community. And these are some of the extension activities we have undertaken. Thank you.
We come to the last formal presentation before we request those who particularly who have not spoken to speak. I'd like to invite Dr. Nishant Tikekar, Associate Professor at Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship, again IIT Bombay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I believe Professor Ravi was invited, but because he had other commitments, he asked me to come here. So I'll briefly talk about what we do at IIT Bombay. I'm a part of Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship, where we try to foster the mindset of entrepreneurship among students so that they don't come out just as students or engineers, but come out as a holistic, either an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, or someone with the experience or a training of entrepreneurship so that they can be more useful to the industry. So to that effect, we have some courses and a minor program that includes some hands-on training as part of courses as well as other entrepreneurship related courses. But we also have mentoring programs called the IDEAS program as well as Women in Entrepreneurship. And now we are coming up with a M-Engine Entrepreneurship for working professionals. So far we have had tremendous response. An average class size is about 50. We get about 700 applicants, and we have to unfortunately pick and choose the best among them. But we have enabled about 44 startups from our students. So how do we pick the best ideas or the best entrepreneurs? We try to correlate them with the UN SDG goals. We are a government entity as IIT Bombay, and we have to make sure we are serving the nation, serving the social structure, which is also tied in with the UN SDG goals. So just briefly, the IDEAS program, it's sort of a funnel-shaped program where we invite applicants in the form of ideas, and then we provide 3 months of structured training and mentoring, and then they make a presentation to invited investors and mentors, and then they are selected to go to level 2, where they will have even intense training for 12 months, and then they eventually start up. And what we mean by startup is a startup registered with the government of India. Until then, they are just in ideation phase. So you are a real startup when you are registered as essentially a company with the government of India. So far we have had, we have prepared 40 venture ready teams. The numbers are all there. So more than 44 startups created just as a part of DSSE. We have listed here, we are about 5-6 years old. In reality, we started operations on a larger scale within the last 3-4 years, including COVID years. Before that, we were even smaller. These are all, they are in the market. Some of them may even actually have closed down. So we admit that not every startup that comes out is successful, but some of them are big. For example, HelpNow, which is listed here in 2019 in red, it's now valued at 150 crores, for example. And they are an ambulance service company based out of Delhi. And Delhi had a government ambulance service within Delhi, but the Home Minister called HelpNow when they had an emergency at their end. So, we get great quality students to begin with, and whatever little guidance and mentoring we provide, they are able to turn it into successful ventures. Spacing all domains, bulk, as is the trend, bulk of the ideas are in, IT and service related things, but we do encourage other domains as well, particularly healthcare, sometimes even hard products. In fact, I like to emphasize on hard products because my background is biomedical and material science. And the other thing that we do at IIT Bombay that is funded by Government of Maharashtra and Government of India, Department of Science and Technology, is called BETIC, which is a dedicated center, innovation center for biomedical products. And to my mind, this is the best example of what government funding in the right way, channelized in the right way, can achieve in our country. So, our building looks like a shed. In fact, when I joined IIT, I was initially a part of BETIC. It looks like a shed from outside, but inside we have pretty high-tech equipment, 3D printers, metal prototyping, electronics prototyping. And what Betic has done is they have developed what they call a 4D process, which is identify and define the problem, develop the right solution, then deliver it, which is, you do all the testing, you get it to the point where it is at least a minimum viable product, and then deploy in the market. And why is it important to emphasize this is because biomedical domain by itself is a very demanding domain. The regulations, our regulations are based on US FDA regulations. In fact, they are as is adopted, and the requirements to go from ideation to market launch are maximum, even more than automotive norms. So if you do biomedical product, you are generally well equipped to do any other kind of product. So that's why it's important to do it. By the way, these 4 Ds that I just mentioned are lined up in TRL, roughly in TRL levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. And so far we have had success in basically making all kinds of devices. The ones on left are typically screening or diagnostic devices. The ones on right are intervention, surgical kind of devices, addressing pretty much all conditions from head to toe. These are developed based on the problems defined by doctors in and around Bombay region. So top doctors, we know them very well. They have defined 400 problems to work with. Just a quick statistic, even if we are able to do one device and startup per month, we will be in business for the next 30 years. So that's the kind of what we have on our plate, and tremendous energy in Betic, where great culture. And not just that, but we enable startups. So far within the last 5 or 6 years, we have enabled more than 15 biomedical startups, which I believe is a great record by itself. But we have also licensed devices to industry. One of them is actually in Bhandarkar Road area. So some of the devices that we developed, if we felt we don't have the energy to take it forward or capability to take it forward, we are more than happy to license to industry. And I would love to welcome any industry expert to come to Betic or DSSE if they have any interest in licensing any of our products. So right now our top domains focused on what is really happening in technology, as well as what are based on USD, as well as what is based in terms of national challenges. So AI, typical medical healthcare automation, but we also try to focus on smart cities. Earlier I was saying our cities, unfortunately, and I am born and raised in Bombay, so I'm in love with Bombay. Unfortunately, among the worst places, rated as among the worst places to live in the world. So I feel very badly about that. But it's necessary, and the opportunity is there to develop smart cities, transportation, traffic, etc. Agriculture, everyone has been talking. I don't need to say anything. And then obviously India is a big opportunity and market for the energy technology as well. So one of the things that we found is, in going from concept, our typical process is from concept, you go to POC or proof of concept, which can sometimes be a simple drawing, but obviously we encourage them to do a real soft, virtual kind of a prototype, then a real prototype, and then finally MVP or a minimum viable product. And that includes not just the scientific development, but also the artistic development, so that someone is actually willing to pay for the product. And when I was at Symbiosis for 1 year as an incubation manager, I used to tell my people that I am your first customer if I can afford it. If I have the money, here's the money, I am your first customer. So that's the excuse me, that's the kind of thinking we try to develop, and the mindset we try to develop among our students. And of course, at the same time, sensitize them about how to manage costs, the financial aspect, the marketing aspect as well. And we have dedicated courses run by very qualified professors. Now 2 professors who are the first 2 professors of practice in India are part of Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship. One is for marketing, the other is for introduction to entrepreneurship. And Professor Umakant, who is an adjunct faculty, sits on the board of BSE. I am also a part of technology, so I work more on product development side. But what we have found is there are all these valleys of death, and in each and every phase. And the third valley of death, prototype to product, is the biggest valley of death. So that's where most students require maximum support. And if you notice the first 2 valleys of death, if you notice the numbers at the bottom, You typically people either have the money or able to raise that kind of money, you know, up to 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, maybe even 20 lakhs. But beyond that, it becomes difficult for an individual to do what is called bootstrapping or collect money from his or her own pocket or relatives or friends. And it's not advisable either. I mean, I would advise that person to start trading in the stock market instead of putting it here. But beyond that, what is done is we provide them at least access to VCs, as well as access to alumni who are willing to support their ventures. And then of course government grants, they play a big role in what we are doing, and RGSTC has been kind enough to support our efforts in that direction too. And then finally comes the scale up, which is a really big deal. And we I'm sure you have heard of some IIT Bombay startups that have had good amount of funding from large VCs and so on and so forth. So with our programs, we are trying to bridge that gap between R&D and industry essentially. And this is a slide I just thought of today. You know, for technology commercialization, we do need support from institutes like MCCI, RGSTC, in terms of financial support as well as network, but we also need direct support from industry so that we can build the bridge between academia and industry. And someone earlier pointed out, you know, how do we bring Saraswati Mata and the Lakshmi Mata together? So I thought maybe this is one way of bringing them together. So just one way of developing a program for accelerating technology commercialization. So for that, what we have planned is a dedicated training for the 10 PIs and their fellows today, whoever is interested, who presented earlier in the morning on IIT Bombay campus. I have sent invites to everyone. I hope no one has any issues. So basically it will involve partly instructional, partly interactive, partly hands-on training, partly lab visits to BETIC and the other associated relevant labs. Food and expenses will be taken care of. RGSTC has been very kind in providing generous funding for this. And then finally, you know, we will try to impart them with what we call a technology package, which is basically a set of documents that individuals will have to fill out, but they will be able to fill out only if they have done the work, which essentially means if someone can fill out the form, they are ready to enter the market essentially. And finally, on the final day, they will be requested to make presentations. And after lunch break, I think Kakodkar sir is going to grace that event, so we would be happy to welcome him. This is from 19th to 21st. So technology package essentially consists of, you know, right from identifying the customer need, identifying the customer segment, to defining, you know, product specifications, developing solutions, all the way to preparing your pitch deck for the investor and the customer as well. So whole planning that is required. If you go through those set of forms and fill them out, you will be sort of forced to fill that out. So we will be you know, providing those documents and supporting you during that program. So in conclusion, I would like to say there actually is a very critical need, especially in India, to bridge that gap between ideation or R&D and real industry, what is happening in the industry. Based on my experience in both academia and industry, I have found that the connect is not there, not just in India, but even in the US. You know, what happens in industry is not what is R&D, I mean, what academia knows. And in industry, especially, you know, there may be what may be a R&D problem in academia may have a manufacturing solution in the industry. And I worked on the shop floor of DuPont as a manager, so I know at least some of the things that happen in industry that need to be brought to the academia. So that's the kind of gap we are trying to fill out, and we are very thankful to all the technical institutes, mentor institutes, government support that we have received so far and hope to receive in the future, as well as events and platforms like the MCCI is providing today to highlight what we have been doing and to see if we can partner with the industry. And of course, our definition of success is like help now. You know, you have become a successful startup. You have a real product that you have launched in the market in a legal, registered, socially impactful manner. So that is something that we highlight upon. Finally, thank you RGSTC for the generous funding, and thank you everyone for your kind attention. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Tikekar.
Two questions. 1 lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore, 10 crore. One of the slides. So was it just to give us some order of magnitude, or what was it?
Sort of, yeah. It actually, those numbers are relatively real in terms of the kind of input that goes into overcoming each of those stages and developing the product. Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, does it have a basis or it was just from?
No, no,
Your experience,
based on, especially based on Betic experience, but I mean, if we sit down and do the real calculations for different stages of product development, it will come in these are quite ballpark numbers, because sometimes we don't put a number to the effort that goes into all of these things. We just do basic calculations related to material. So it may seem low initially, but if we start putting a real financial calculation to it, it will come in these ballpark numbers.
Okay, now we come to the very last, or shall we say second last part of it. Those from the industry participants who are here even now, in case they would like to share some of their insight or some questions, then we can move to the vote of thanks. We see some friends from Hodek and a few other companies. In case anyone wants to offer any comments or expectations.
A lot of positiveness that yes, there are many ways where industries can approach many places and do the right development and find real solutions which will be very I think effective for the society as well as could be a great commercial success. So thank you MCCI for arranging this, and we expect I think some way how to approach some of these places such as NCL or any other thing. So if you send us some contact details that this is the right process to approach them, then we can go through them.
Let me know what help you need. We'll be happy to connect with you.
Thank you.
Connect them with you. And let me also say that we would like to conduct a few sessions, maybe specific to industry applications or industry relevant technologies, let's say from PRC and a few other organizations going forward, so that more and more industry kind of attends and participates and also takes the benefit out of it. The idea is ultimately at the end of the day, talk to the R&D institutions, get their information and try to commercialize that in your own way for your own benefit. So, yes, go ahead.
So now with the support of RJSTC, we have developed one prototype basically, and now we want to further take it ahead. So how can we know basically to approach which industry now? Now specifically with reference to MCCI basically. So now we have a product.
If you share the information that you have at whatever stage it is, we will be happy to share it with the relevant companies, or maybe host on our website or publicize it through our magazine or social media. And as Mr. Girbane said, the 2-minute video or a small little presentation or a write-up, we'll be happy to use our own channels to share it with the industry. The idea being to get the industry interested in what you have on offer and maybe further develop. We have a team of people who are actually writing a report of this event, which we will hopefully publish in the Diwali issue of Sampada, which will go to all our members, which will also give them a glimpse of what we did here and what lies ahead.
The thing is that actually right now we have what we have is focusing on one particular area, but with little tweaking, if we tweak it, it can be applicable to other domain also. So that way we would like to explore possibility, right? Yes, right.
Information should be that the project is available in this form, but the benefit can be applied to some other segment as well.
Right.
That's fine. So that's what I purposefully took the example of BRC, which may be having industry-ready technologies which are currently applied in a specific domain, whether it is defense or atomic energy or whatever. But the other industry also may have some spin-off, for example, a few of our members are using the defense technology, licensing them, further developing and then commercially deploying that. So something like that is what we would like to definitely propagate.
Thank you, sir.
Any other comments from anyone?
My name is Soumitra, and this is my very first attendance to the event organized by MCCI, because just last week we have taken the membership. I come from a consulting background, and we are mainly into operations consulting, mainly for the manufacturing sector. One thing that I have actually liked about having these kind of programs is how great minds can come together for knowledge sharing as well as problem sharing. like how my my colleague Mr. Dr. Nishant was mentioning earlier, that there has to be a good connect between the academics and industries. I also feel there should be a good connect between industries and industries, because when we come from consulting background, we have worked in various sectors: automotive sector, food and beverage, even some into agriculture, home appliances, kind of thing, and we use a lot of solutions from one sector to be used as the solutions for problems in another sector. So with this kind of a platform being provided, we can utilize such opportunities to share these problems, not only just the problems but also the solutions, because what I also truly believe is the solution will lie somewhere maybe outside your own domain, which can be shared out. So I'm grateful that I got to be participated in such kind of platforms, and I look forward to such programs organized by MCCI very soon. Right. Thank you.
Sudarma sir, with your permission, may I? So I am talking from the industry's point of view, and now since all the members of the research team are here, one feedback that I would...
yourself.
Sorry sir, I'm Ashish Purwal from Senji Biochem. We also have a sister concern called Oda Nutrichem, who are into nutraceuticals. So we are interested in finding out more products or more technology which we can adapt. So this was the purpose for our visit, and which gratefully we could see some spark over here. And one area I think where if possible, if it is, let me know, is an area where if an institute is working on something and that technology is ready to be shared, or maybe they need some help, if on their portal they can share that on this specific subject this research is going on, then maybe as an industry, if I want to find something and if that is relevant to me, I can also directly get in touch with that institute. So MCCI being a nodal agency is a good factor, but if I need something specific and that research institute is doing some work on it, I would like to know that, and if I can contribute, then it is beneficial for both of us. So if that is also possible, if through the website or through any of the communications, then it will be very helpful.
One way to share this kind of thing is that if you share your requirement or your niche area or your wish list, then through RGSTC and through our network, we can share it with the right people and ask them to get in touch with you as well. I mean, it can be both ways. Right? Sir, over to you. Chairman has the last word.
No, I'm not the chairman. Well, what can one say? We would like to thank you. I think we have had a very long day, and sitting through like students for 8 hours. We appreciate everyone who came and sort of listened to the speakers, and I would say that the entire exercise would really be a success if at least 2 initiatives would come as a spin-off of this event. Why 2? Well, just came something to my thought. So thanks once again, and Sudarma, I think you should propose a vote of thanks formal vote of thanks. I informally thank them.
So, like to thank Professor Shah, Sapre sir, Patankar sir from RGSTC for believing in this concept in the first place, that we can do something like this in Pune in these times. Coincidentally, when the task of the Innovation and Technology Transfer Cell landed on me, then I said, okay, let me try to do something additional than what was already going on, which was good. Then parallelly, they were already working on a concept note on the project that Shah sir talked about, to connect the industry and the institutions at the inception stage itself. So we said, okay, why not do a interactive session, bringing together a few like-minded organizations, industry, and the networks that can sort of interact with each other and take the movement forward. So that's how it all started about 1.5 months ago, and happy that At least at the peak, the hall was full, the interaction was good. Offline also, quite a few people interacted with each other, and I hope this dialogue does continue. So thank you to all the speakers, participants, and the investigators as well as the incubators. I think we'll have more and more opportunities to connect with each other on these and other platforms. We have the exhibition coming up next month. We have the International Business Summit coming up in February. Before that, we have the Industry and Educational Institutions Summit coming up last week of November, and many more of such initiatives. And as I said, we have the magazine, so through which the industry can voice their proposals. The institutional capabilities can also be funneled to the industry. It is also online. My colleagues here operationalize it online as well, apart from sending it to the members. So, and that link is shared quite widely on our social media platforms as well as WhatsApp groups. So all in all, thank you to all of you, and we have a cup of tea or coffee waiting for us outside, so further networking can happen there in case any of you want to take it offline. So Shah sir, you wanted to finish at 5 o'clock, it's just about 5.
Wow. Great.
Thank you so much.
Give a big round of applause to Mr. Kopadikar and the two scientific officers here who had been behind, working behind the curtain.
Naved and Rushali,
Naved and Dr. Rushali.
Naved and Rushali really worked hard on getting all of you together. So thanks, big thanks to all of you. Both of them.